Everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. I'm doing this video in the car because I got the email and it seems to be urgent, so as soon as I get to the office, I'm going to upload it. It's someone who, and by the way, for those of you who don't know how this works, send in your questions, Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. You can also find me on every social network. You can also call or text 949-415-6256. Get your clinical trial questions answered. So this question is from someone who has a lot of experience working in the research field. I'm assuming either as a study coordinator or as a CRA, which is a monitor, for those of you who don't know. But they're helping someone open a clinic, and they want to know what the bare essential requirements or bare essential elements are, the most important things that you need to do to actually open a research clinic. So for those of you who don't know, I partner with and consult with lots of sites throughout the country, actually across the world now. Just recently did one in India and Mexico. So here's the thing, okay? And if you need further help on this, we can discuss this by phone later. You need a PI, so that's the most basic, fundamental element that you need is a PI. Okay, then you need to shop this PI CV around in order to get studies. So it's kind of like the chicken and the egg scenario. Can you get a study before you get a PI? Yes, if you know what studies are seeking sites, but you have to be like entrenched in the industry and be living this stuff every day like I am. Then you can get studies without actually having a PI, because you'll at least know what studies sponsors are looking for, and then go out and find a PI who would fit. But if your situation is different, you need a PI first, and then you need to shop his or her CV around for studies, and it's going to kind of be a numbers game. If you can send the CV out or apply for 30 studies, you might get one or two, maybe three, that will actually materialize that a bit. So after the PI, you need the studies. After the study, you need a study coordinator. So I'm assuming you're going to be serving that role. That would be fine. Then you need to find a location to do the trial. Either get your own site, your own location, so that's going to entail leasing an office or maybe purchasing an office. I recommend at least, bare minimum, 1,600 square feet. You can probably do 5 or 6, maybe 7 or 8 trials every year with 1,600 square feet. You don't have to rent your own space. You can, if your PI that you found, if his or her office is big enough to handle studies, like I said, 1,600 square feet, then you should be able to get away with that if they're willing to use their space or have you use their space for research. You can work out a deal later. And I'm going to do a really long form video on this, a podcast style video on this topic, as well as a few other ones later today. Okay, so then the rooms in the office, you need obviously a waiting room. You need to have a dedicated room for monitors, or at least a room that will be available when monitors are coming to your site. You'll need a room dedicated to consenting, or for the PI to see the patients. I'm assuming that would be his or her office. Then you need an exam room, at least one. You'll need an exam table. You'll need a ECG machine. Although some studies provide ECG machines, I'm noticing that more and more increasingly don't. So you'll need an ECG machine. You'll need a room, double-locked room for investigational product, and it'll have to be temperature controlled, so that's another room you'll need. And you'll need some locked cabinets in that IP room to store the IP, the investigational product. You obviously need thermometers, min-max thermometers, to make sure that the temperature there are never are always in the range for the IP. You'll need a -20 refrigerator, and again, you'll need a thermometer to make sure that you check the daily temperature, the min and the max every day, including weekends. You need a refrigerator, another refrigerator for refrigerated IP. This is especially true for IP that's in the injectable form. So that's another fridge. You'll need a centrifuge. You'll need equipment to measure vital signs like a weighing scale, blood pressure machine. A centrifuge is what you'll need. Some studies require refrigerated centrifuges, but again, if you're just asking for bare minimal requirements, just a regular centrifuge will do. All these things will have to get calibrated also at least once a year. What else am I missing? And then when you start the study, you're gonna have to obviously get study participants to join. So that's pretty much what you need. Don't forget the CLIA waiver or the CLIA certificate, depending on what you'll do. Most sites can get away with a CLIA waiver. You'll need a business license for your city. I recommend setting up an LLC or a S Corp for this to protect you from liability. What else? I think that's about it. I mean, like I said, I'm going to do a longer form video on this same topic when I get to the office, but I know this one is urgent for you. I believe you're meeting with someone now to discuss setting this up. So let me know if I can help further, alright? And for those of you watching, let me know if I'm missing anything. But again, this is just the bare essential things that you need to set up a site, okay? So hopefully this helps. I'm going to do another long 20 to 30 minute video where I'll dedicate like half of that video to this topic. So hopefully this helps. Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com, and keep your questions coming in. Thank you. Bye-bye.